I can do.
Okay, there we go.
And once we have this recording, are we sending it to someone?
That is a good question. Let me ask for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'll get an answer for you in a minute. I'm just waiting for them to reply.
That's okay. I mean, you can send me later too. It's not a big deal.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, let me stop sharing for just a minute. If that's okay. There we go.
You're welcome. It says that I've been told that the recording will go to you, to us, so no need to worry about that.
Okay. There we go. Okay, should we start right at 5 or should we? Wait a minute, I know we've only got 20 minutes, but
I think we can start.
okay. And are you doing the introduction or am I?
I got it.
Okay.
Yep. All right. I think we just skipped through these slides, right?
Do that. Oh, founding partner, GSU. There we go.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here at the conference. I really want to say thank you to the organizers for inviting us to be here. And we will be talking about harnessing the potential of AI technologies to enhance student success. My name is Mohammed Hassan, and I am here with my colleague.
Oh, Linda Cifelli.
And I'm Craig Anderson.
All right. Can we go to the next slide, Craig?
Yeah, sorry.
So open education. We have been talking about open education resources so much that it's on top of my head. So AI, whenever we think about AI, it's a topic that everybody's talking about. It's something that, it's now a big deal. It's like everybody is saying, hey, what let's do AI. Let's talk about AI. But it's not a concept that is recently introduced. It has been here for a very long time. So artificial intelligence, just in few words, it's a simulation of human intelligence that processed by the machine. And when we talk about special applications for AI, we talk about expert systems, natural languages processing, large language processing, machine visions, speech recognitions is few of those that we have been discussing these days. And if you have any questions, please jump in at any time during the presentation. Craig, could you go to the next slide, please? Now, when we talk about student success at a college, these are the few words that come to us. At Library, Learning Commons, where students are coming in asking us questions about how am I going to do something? How am I going to research? How am I going to find some article? How I have a study goal. I have a goal to achieve an A grade. How do I do this? People come in and ask questions about workshops. We have been a spot for well-being. People want information about how to be more effective and efficient. And when these are the questions, these are the student success, these are the items that until we solve them, until we address them, we will not be able to be successful. We cannot make our students successful. In libraries, whenever we think about libraries or any part of a university, we are talking about the people who are there to help and make sure the students are successful. I am very blessed to have an amazing team that always think about innovative ways to solve problems and innovative ways to make sure the students are being successful. Therefore, this next slide, please. Therefore, when we discuss AI, we just don't simply talk about as something that is going out there and it's a normal topic for everyone. We really are taking this to heart, and we are really digging deeper into AI and really thinking about how are we going to put that into our workflows to make sure it is successful. For example, we are providing workshops to our faculty and students on how to use AI properly. We have created AI policy, and we are encouraging our faculty to learn more of the tools that are available on their hand. You will soon hear about them, and embed them to make sure that students are learning the new ways. We are also not pushing our students away from these technologies. We are actually having them embrace these technologies and teaching them the right way to use them. We are including AI in our workflows. For example, we collect data on many areas. We learn how many people are coming into our building. We talk about how many books are being checked out, how many people are coming to tutoring, writing, public speaking, academic coaching, how many people are coming to websites. When are they coming to the website? Which browser are they using? Which computer system are they using, right? So all of this data that we are collecting, we are using certain programs or AI tools to actually understand this data and connect them. For example, one connection is the student X comes to Learning Commons. We cannot target when they come into the building, but we can see when they log into our resources. When do they go to learning support services? When do they go to library research support? And then we can actually triangulate and see if that student and how is that student performing. We actually started working on an analysis for two semester trend of the students who came to learning support services, and we are using a couple of AI tools. Actually, I ran a very simple analysis on ChatGPT, and it was pretty fun to understand. And ChatGPT was able to read it and give me a analysis after reading the data that was about, maybe 500, 600 lines. It read it and gave me analysis within a few seconds. So AI's ability to process and interpret information spans various domains, from natural language processing to image recognition, and enabling tasks such as an automated content organization. And now we are also moving into, and we'll talk a little bit about, is sentiment analysis. And we are using predictive analysis at Learning Commons. For example, we do our hours, how long library needs to open, using a predictive models from one of the vendors that we have gotten the software from, and seeing how busy are we going to do. We also analyze that when is the busiest time, and create these heat maps on our websites. So as we are moving forward, especially with natural language processing, our keynote speaker actually was talking about it today, that there is so much data, and they are very helpful. But when we come to have this sentiment, it's still not there. And as libraries, as the people who are working and provide the right information or good information to our students and take pride in their success, we need to start thinking about making sure that these models are built in the way that they have proper sentiment analysis built into them. And if it is not, we need to work on correcting it and help building part of this. You're muted, Craig.
I knew it's going to happen sometime. Sorry. So, yes, what are students looking for? As one of the librarians working like in the reference kind of in the front end, also working with access services a lot, I kind of get to hear like the questions that students are asking when they come into the Learning Commons, and they have questions about AI. For example, there was a student in here not too long ago who came in with a standard library reference question. She wanted to know, she had a list of references, she had a bibliography, she wanted to know where she could find these articles. And I said, oh, of course, I can help you find these articles. That's what I'm trained to do. And I couldn't find a single one of those articles. They were all from real, actual academic peer-reviewed journals. And I would see the author's name mentioned when I did research in that topic, but none of these articles were real articles. And I said, well, where did you get these? And she said, oh, I went to Google and I said, find me articles on this particular topic. And the first result that came up was for Quillbot, which is an AI, and it just created a list of artificial articles on that topic, taking things from actual peer-reviewed journals and using actual authors in that specific field. So she wasn't going in there to try and cheat on her assignment. She was trying to find articles, but she didn't realize that, well, A, that Quillbot was an artificial intelligence program, and B, she didn't realize that it wasn't finding real articles for her. And then there was a professor that actually I was in a meeting with, and I was helping him find things for his research. And he was curious about AI because he taught ESL students. So these students were learning English as a second language, and they had all submitted their assignments. And he wanted to see if any of them had used AI for their assignments. And he found out that every single student in his class had used AI for their assignment, but it was because they had written the assignment in their own language and then went to a translate program to translate it. And that kind of algorithm that's used to translate something from one language to another, if you run that through a program that's designed to identify an AI generated text, that's what comes up as, yes, there was an algorithm used to develop this assignment. So it looked like they had cheated on all of their assignments. So I think students do worry about this kind of thing, worry about being falsely accused of plagiarism. There was a professor in, I forget what university this was, but it was in, I think, Texas, who his method of trying to find out whether students had used ChatGPT or something to do their assignment is he just copy pasted their entire assignment into ChatGPT and said, "Did you write this to ChatGPT?" And ChatGPT does have a tendency to give you the answer you're looking for, kind of, in some cases. So it felt that he wanted a positive answer. So yes, of course I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote every single one of these papers all by myself. So the professor actually ran into some trouble because he said that every one of his students had cheated on this assignment and none of them actually had. So yeah, students are looking for.
Sorry,
Oh, go
before
ahead.
you go to the next slide and give it to Linda, sorry, I want to answer this question before you move forward to the next slide.
Mhm.
There's a question I'm curious about the non-use case for AI. What are the situation when you might advocate that students and or teachers not use AI to best ensure student success? That is a very good question. There are two scenarios that I would really say. One is teachers and faculty cannot and should not ever start with the AI models. For example, if you're teaching programming, let's say Java, do not teach them how to use blackbox.ai to start with. Teach them how to do it, and as they learn how to recognize everything, then you start teaching them about black box. Make it mandatory for them not to submit an assignment using an AI tool. Tell them that, hey, you need to learn how to recognize Java, how to write Java, how to understand how to make logic, and then you jump into understanding this. And second part is writing. If it's a writing intensive course, you need to tell students that you need to focus on writing. Do not use an AI, especially for their writing intensive course. And the third case is communication. If you are in a communication class, have them talk to each other, talk to students each other, instead of having them talk to AI. It is better for the students, each other's success. An individual can be successful by just talking to an AI, but it's mutual success and mutual lifting each other up. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, and that's very important. I remember we were having a conversation with Mohammed before, just talking about AI, and you compared AI to like using a calculator in class. If you have a first grade class and they're learning how to do addition, you're not going to tell them just figure it out on the calculator. You want them to learn how to actually do it. But when they get into like advanced algebra and stuff like that, that's when they're going to need to use a calculator for certain things, just because they already have the base learnings before they go on to the advanced stuff. And that's the kind of thing that different programs or like supplements like artificial intelligence can really help them enhance their work. And I think students do need to learn that it should be used as an enhancement and not as a replacement for. Does that make sense? So, okay, so now I'm going to turn this over to my colleague, Ms. Linda Cifelli.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, well, hi there. Hi, everyone. It's obvious from today's conference that academic librarians and educators, like we're all pretty much actively embracing AI for education, for the most part, but especially exploring how AI can be utilized as a research tool. And I think it's astonishing the huge number of peer-reviewed articles that have been published in just the last year that explore the effects of teaching AI literacy to a wide range of populations. For the session today, though, I'm actually not going to focus so much on the research support AI tools, but instead on some of the other AI tools that can serve as supplemental resources for students who are working on other skills and other types of tasks. In particular, actually, Craig, if you could please change the slide. Thank you. So in particular, when students are trying to read and understand a scholarly journal article, or perhaps when they're working to contribute to the scholarly conversation about a topic by presenting the results of their research projects at conferences, through poster sessions, multimedia products, or oral presentations, or perhaps when they're working on writing their own computer code, as Mohammed mentioned. Craig, if you could please advance. Thank you. For instance, at our university, we do find that a good number of our first-year students struggle with reading skills. Professors do refer them to tutoring services in our Learning Commons for assistance with reading, and they also may be enrolled in developmental reading courses. However, despite this, quite early in their college career, they are required to read and to try to understand peer-reviewed journal articles for their course assignments. And you're likely aware of some of the tools that are out there that can help students with this type of reading assistance. So tools like Chat PDF, SciSpace, Scholarly, Lateral. And in a way that these tools can help level the playing field as students strive to analyze academic writing written by others and to synthesize information gleaned from these articles into their own writing. Now, while it's unlikely that students would be able to pay for the premium versions of lots of different AI tools, it could be that the free versions can provide enough support to students, at least for what they're trying to do, at least here and there. For instance, even with the free version of Chat PDF, students can upload up to 2 PDF articles per day. And once a PDF article is uploaded, Chat PDF provides some question prompts that students can click into to get answers to those questions related to that article, but students can even type in their own questions. And this is something similar to what they can do in the SciSpace tool as well. But SciSpace, if you're not familiar with it, does allow searching for scholarly open access journal articles to students, and they're not hallucinations. These are real articles that are available open access. But SciSpace also provides a SciSpace Copilot, which provides the reading assistance. And this is also available through the free version, the basic version of SciSpace. And once again, students can upload PDFs into SciSpace, provides question prompts. They can get answers to those questions, but also type in their own questions as well. So I kept trying this out and was typing, can you please explain the data analysis in this article? And it would do that. So this seemed to be a tool that could help students who are struggling with reading and trying to understand scholarly articles that are often very, it can be confusing to some of us. Craig, if you could please advance. Thank you. So there are also other tools, AI tools, that can assist students who are working on the scholarship as a conversation frame as they are trying to share their work, perhaps by participating in a conference, through an oral presentation, or perhaps a poster session. And that's where AI tools like SlidesGo, Clipchamp, Slides AI perhaps help with this sort of thing as students are seeking to take content that they've developed and develop Google Slides and PowerPoint presentations and so on. Thank you. But students who are doing presentations at conferences, either on or off campus, might also benefit from other types of AI tools that can provide support for public speaking skills. So as Mohammed mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that students are taking advantage of, what they're learning in their courses, the work that they're doing with the professors and their classmates, taking advantage of support services like our own public speaking lab. But they also do have access to some freely available AI tools that can provide some communication coaching, which can come in handy if they are trying to practice presentations and get some feedback. For instance, I did have some fun working myself with the Udly tool. If you haven't used this before, you can provide Udly with access to your own computer's camera and microphone. You can practice a speech, and then Udly will analyze the speech that you presented. Will pose follow-up questions, almost anticipating questions that audience members might ask of you, so you can practice answering those questions. But Udly will also provide analytics, both on the content of your speech as well as the structure of your speech. The one downside that I did see is that the free version of Udly only provides up to 5 Udlys, like 5 free practice speeches in total. That's not per month, it's in total, like forever with that one account. So I have used one of my free 5 Udlys already. But it did work. I was able to practice. I actually practiced the beginning part of my presentation. And within seconds, Udly did provide me with some feedback on that speech. In fact, it did analyze the content of my practice speech, and it determined that I had 19% excess content in my first go around. So I was able to incorporate the suggestions for tightening up that speech into what I was saying at the beginning of my part of this presentation. But also, it did give me some other feedback, some things that I thought I was doing fairly well, but also some other ideas of speech. So this perhaps could be a helpful tool for students in between their sessions with our public speaking lab, or before they are doing presentations in front of their classmates or in a conference. So Craig, if you could please advance. So really the examples that I've run through fairly quickly right now are really just the tip of the iceberg. And, every time we look, there seem to be new tools that are out there that we can experiment with. Faculty members have countless opportunities to help students develop their AI literacy skills as they incorporate AI tools into course assignments. With tools like Blackbox AI, as Mohammed mentioned, students can get some coding assistance, as they're working on their coding skills. Leonardo AI, of course, can help with generating images. So in a way, these types of tools can help students who might otherwise struggle with these types of skills, but redesigned course assignments can emphasize the importance of critically evaluating the content generated by the AI tools, so that students learn the importance of fact-checking, troubleshooting, revising, and considering concepts such as authorship and copyright. These AI literacy skills will be essential to our students as they move out of the college environment and into their careers, where it's evident that generative AI will be an ongoing presence. If I could turn the mic back over on Mohammed, if you wanted to add anything there.
No, I think we'll just we are almost out of time, so we'll take questions. Let me see if there are any questions.
There were a lot of questions. I love the transcript of the chat.
Potential question. I'm wondering if using an AI tool to help analyze articles or reading prevent students from developing critical thinking skills. Linda, you want to answer?
I think, you could certainly argue that point, and I'm sure a lot of our faculty are looking at it that way as well. I think I would look at it as one of an arsenal of supports that are available to students. And I think, along with the other resources and support services and the the developmental courses that students might take, that it can perhaps help students, you know, keep up with their coursework, but we need to make sure that they are continuing to work on those skills on their own as well, with the support of their faculty and the other services available to them on campus.
And I would answer it in a way there. If as we keep moving forward, I remember the days when I used to remember every cell phone number or every phone number in the list on top of my head, but now I don't remember any number because I use cell phone, right? So over the time, things change, and they do impact in certain ways. But that's why it is important that we teach our students how to use them properly. I have used it, and I encourage my student to use it as more of bouncing ideas, as a colleague that you can actually work together at any time, so that you can bounce ideas. Relying on AI, generative AI, to do assignments or to do research may not be impactful, but using it to analyze the data might be helpful.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to read all the questions in the chat here.
All right, that's good. I mean, there are no more questions. We are always available to, we are at Kean University. We are really looking at things very differently. I mean, I'm not going to say very differently. A lot of people are looking at AI and trying to do things to the best of the student. But whenever we are using any tool, whenever we are using any technology, please always think about it as the tool is not going to solve every problem. We need to really figure out what do we call success for our students, and define that success for yourself. And once that clearly defined for you, then start thinking about the tools, then start thinking about the trainings and workshops. We cannot jump in and adapt a tool, for example, ChatGPT or Scholarly, whatever. We cannot adapt that tool until we know what success really means to us.
I noticed that somebody in the chat, Holly, says, it seems like an ethics of AI use in this class needs to be required conversation at the start of each semester. I really like that.
That's
idea.
very good.
Yeah. So, okay, is that all we have, or?
I have no other questions.
Okay. So thank you so much for having us. It's
Yes, thank you so much.
great.
Do we have a final slide with our contact information?
Yes, we do. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, there's the references.
Oh, references.
You can screenshot that really quickly before I go on to our
Mhm.
contacts. Is there not a slide after this?
Maybe we don't have our contacts.
That's all right. That's good.
What if I do like
Find
this?
us on LinkedIn.
Yeah, no, apparently there's not.
That's okay. Find us
Okay.
on LinkedIn.
Okay. I'm a librarian in real life on Instagram if you want to follow me there.
You could probably include it when you send in the materials to be distributed. So,
Okay, that sounds great.
okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Talking to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.